Hi, Nicole with Land to Learn. In this video, we're going to see kale plants growing. We're going to make a kale recipe. We're going to meet some people growing kale because kale is our featured vegetable of the month for October.
Jeremiah, what are you doing?
I am harvesting kale. Hi, my name is Jeremiah, and we're here at the Green Team Garden. Here we have our 3 different types of kale. We have our dino kale, our curly head kale, and our Siberian frill kale. They're grown in various types of ways, and they're very tasty. Over this whole summer, we gave out hundreds of pounds of kale, and people love it. It sold out in seconds. And there's many ways you can eat it too. You can put it in the oven, you can toast it, you can put it in salads, and it's very tasty. You can put it to your liking. You can put oils and seasonings on it and eat it how you want. It can be even spicy, sweet, bitter, your liking. So don't be afraid if it comes home just because it's green. Try it.
Hi everyone, I'm Farmer Leah and I'm here at Common Ground Farm sitting in the kale patch where we grow 3 different types of kale. We grow green kale, red curly kale, and dinosaur kale. Here's the stem, and down here is the growth point where all the new little leaves come out, and these are the big mature leaves that we harvest for people to eat. And kale is a really yummy vegetable. It's a leafy green and it's a superfood and it tastes pretty yummy.
Now I'm going to make a lemony kale salad following a recipe. So I'll show you step by step how to make this delicious, nutritious kale salad. Here are the ingredients for my lemony kale salad. I have a bunch of kale, raisins, an apple. For the dressing, we have olive oil, apple cider vinegar, sugar, and a lemon for lemon juice, and some garlic powder, salt, and pepper. The cooking tools we're going to need to make our lemony kale salad are a whisk, measuring spoons, a measuring cup, a knife, a cutting board. I'm using a salad spinner, you don't need one, a large bowl, and a small bowl. First thing I'm going to do is take my kale leaves and remove this stem. So especially when I'm eating it raw in a salad, I don't want to eat the hard stem. I want to eat the soft leaf part. So this is a fun, simple way to take the leaf part off of the stem or de-stem the kale. I hold it by the end here, the bottom, and just slide my fingers down. And now I have the soft leaf part and the stem separate. The stem I'm going to put in my compost. If you don't have a compost, you can put that in the garbage. And then we're just going to eat this part. So I'm going to break this into bite-sized pieces, just with my hands. And then I'm going to put it in a strainer to rinse it. I'm going to use this strainer from the inside of my salad spinner, but you can use any kind of strainer, which is just a bowl with holes in it to rinse. Now I've rinsed my kale and you can see it's wet, which is okay if it's wet, but it helps the dressing stick better if the leaves are dry. So I'm going to use my salad spinner here, which is just a strainer bowl inside of a larger bowl and a lid that spins the inner bowl and then spins the water out. So I'm gonna press, see it spins. And then this one has a button here to stop it. So I stop it, and we'll see that the water has been spun off into the inside of the bowl here. So now my kale leaves are dry enough to make a salad. Now my kale is ready to put in the bowl. This recipe calls for 3.5 cups of chopped kale leaves. So I'm going to measure out 3.5 cups, about that. It does not have to be exact. I'm probably actually doing more like 4 cups of kale. If you want to use more of it, then you'll have to make more dressing to make it tasty. Or you can save the rest of the bunch for another salad for another day. Now my kale is ready, but in order to make the leaves softer and have a better texture in the salad, I'm going to massage the leaves or squeeze them until they're a little bit softer. Helps break down the kale and make it a bit softer. So I'm just gonna do that for like a minute. Next, I'm going to cut my apple and put that in the bowl. I'm gonna cut the apple into bite-sized pieces. So when I cut an apple in half, inside I have the core. I'm gonna cut that out by cutting this in half again. And then I can cut this out by just doing this carefully. Now when I use a knife, I keep my fingers like a C shape for cutting or for chef or for careful. And that helps keep the knife away from my fingers. And make sure you're using a knife that's safe for you. This one is pretty sharp, but I'm also really used to using a knife. And I've been doing it for a very long time. I cook a lot. So I'm gonna hold this carefully so my fingers are out of the way. And I'm gonna actually cut this in half one more time. And then I'm gonna cut these into smaller pieces. This recipe calls for half a cup of raisins. So I'm gonna again use my measuring cup and I'm gonna fill it to half a cup, which is 1/2. You can see it's about half a cup. Here's my kale, apples, and raisins. Now I want to make the dressing. I have a small bowl I'm going to use and a whisk and measuring spoons. So this recipe, this is my olive oil. This recipe calls for 1 tablespoon, my tablespoon measure, plus half a teaspoon, about half a teaspoon. This doesn't have to be totally exact. Now I need 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna find my teaspoon measuring spoon. 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna add that to the bowl. Measure it out carefully. Put that in. And my lemon. So the lemon, you can use lemon juice from a container or bottle. I'm going to use lemon juice from an actual lemon. And so when I do that, I want to roll around the lemon like this so that it's juicier when I cut it. I'm going to cut it open and then squeeze out the juice, making sure that I don't get any seeds in it. And I need 2 teaspoons of this. So I'm going to cut my lemon. I'm just gonna cut it in half. I'm actually gonna use this to just squeeze it in so I can get the juice out. And then I'm gonna measure out, with no seeds in it, 2 teaspoons and add it to the bowl with the dressing. 1, 2. Now I'm going to add 1/4 or 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. When I'm measuring something like sugar, I want to make sure I have a flat, even top. So see how it's heaped? That's more than 1/4. So I'm going to smooth it out with my finger so it's nice flat on top, and it's exactly a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, now I'm going to use my whisk, and I'm going to whisk these ingredients. I'm also going to add garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Now, I don't really like a lot of garlicky flavor, so I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle because it says just to taste, which means you add as much as you think you would like. So if you like it really garlicky, you can add more. If you like it really salty, you can add a lot of salt. I have a salt in this grinder here, so I'm just gonna do a few twists of that. I do like a good amount of salt on my salad, and pepper I also have in a grinder. So I'll grind a little bit of pepper into the dressing. Give it another little whisk. And then add it to my kale salad and pour it onto the salad. And now to eat it. It's really good. Well, I hope you enjoy your lemony kale salad.